I don't always get requests, but when I do them. That was a request from one of my roommates who's been my roommate for most of my university career, and he requested that I start one of these casts doing something like that. So here we go. Also, this is going to be a Zerg versus Zerg, so I might end up doing that a lot, because I do want to keep a recording where that does happen, and DVZs tend to be shitty games, so we're not going to keep a lot of them. No, I don't find your Korean intimidating. But we do want to switch the colors, because that makes the red more easily detectable on the minimap. Zerg vs Zerg is a matchup that's very, very obnoxious due to the large amount of Zerglings on the map. What's really annoying is people that don't go for that 15 hatch like I do. That means there's going to be a lot of early Zergling pressure. And that's just really obnoxious because they will run in and kill your queens, they'll kill your spines, and kill just about anything else in your base. And that's really annoying. Now, queens and spines are good against Zerglings for cost, but they serve that tanking role. So they need something else to dish out the damage while the queens and the spines tank. That's what really makes them effective. But the only thing that Zerg has that can deal with Zerglings is pretty much Zerglings. So you need the Zerglings to DPS down the Zerglings, which means you're kind of stuck making a lot of Zerglings anyways. Now, the reason I go for the 15 hatch, even though it's an unsafe expand, is because that does allow you to time up your queens nicely so that you can get 2 rounds of injects at the same time, which is much easier to manage than, say, if you had desynced queens. And also if you're losing because of a 15 hatch, then you're losing a couple of minutes of time. So there's that. So I do that so that I can put down a 15 hatch very safely without any blocks going on. So we'll see if he is going for some trash, because I think he is going for some trash. Now this is a 2-player map, which means that it's highly likely that he's going for some trash, but he doesn't seem like, that seems like an early pool, but he doesn't have that larva buildup, which means he won't have the Zerglings, or he won't have the larva needed to get the Zerglings, the 6 Zerglings to put on the pressure. See, right now his pool is done and he only has 1 larva, which means he's not going to have a lot, and he just spent that one, so not a lot of Zergling pressure going to be coming from him. I, of course, have been slacking on the drones because I'm a slack. That's perfectly fine. We'll try to do our best. So this is going to be 15 hatch out of him. It's just an early pull, I guess, for safety. He doesn't exactly want any early garbage to affect him, but that does throw off his timing of the queens. Now, I know there are there are full first builds, but I never managed to time mine up properly, so I don't know how to do those, which kind of limits me to 15 hatch. Now Overlord is on the way, which means we should be able to get our queens out nicely. He does have the Overlord over there, which means he's going to be able to detect any move out that we try to make. So I'll make 1 Zergling, which should be enough to defend against his aggression, if he so chooses to make Zerglings. And I feel like we should have a good flood of Zerglings in time for the double inject, because everything's sort of been going according to plan, in terms of build at least. We'll keep an eye out on the 3rd and anything else that tries to move out. Okay, so now we want to get another Overlord, and we want to get the metabolic boost, which is very important. He seems to be moving out with 4 Zerglings, which isn't exactly a big deal. So I'm going to go ahead and get my double inject. Gonna bring the Zerglings back, and I feel like we should be good. Because like I said before, the queen has a lot of health for cost, which means it should be good in terms of defending against this kind of stuff. I am a little bit short on drones, I guess, because I made the Zerglings, so I might not get as many Zerglings as I would like. Maybe that second one should have been a creep tumor instead of a larva inject. I should be able to get the Overlord down. Maybe even be able to kill it. At least chase it far enough away that it won't be able to detect the Zerglings. Might even be able to kill it. seems to have had a similar sort of mindset as me when he did this, so I'm gonna get the spine crawlers for defense, and I'm gonna try and connect my bases with creep. I don't even think I made the... a bunch of other stuff. So yeah, let's see what we can do about this. Other Zergling seems to be out of position, which means I should be able to get this queen rather easily, and also the second queen in his base should go down as well, so this might end up being a very, very easy win for me. Okay, so right now what we need to do is defend the base properly, because I did do massive, massive economic damage to his base right now. And we do have more Zerglings on the way, and it seems like I cleaned up quite a lot of drones, even in the main. He seems to be trying to make a Baneling's Nest, so let's try and get that down before he's able to actually finish on time. But I don't feel like that's going to be too much of a problem, considering how I severely weakened his economy in his base. So right now what we're going to do is, I'm going to start working on roaches, because roaches are good at tanking banelings, and I feel like we're in a good enough economic position that we can get away with just about anything, as long as we hold off his push right now, which is inevitable. So what we need right now are double queens to hold the ramp, and I will get the second one down here. We're going to miss the inject just a little bit, but I know for a fact that he is going to have that aggression coming on, because really he's lost way too many drones not to do that. And assuming that he reacts intelligently, he will flood in with 1.5 shit tons of Zerglings. Okay, so the second queen is done. Actually, we'll use that queen in a main to inject properly. Okay, so we're still looking good. We got the roaches, and while we do have these roaches, I feel like we can make a move and attack him. We just gotta make sure not to lose all our roaches to banelings. I also feel like there's immense pressure on him to make units at this point.
We require more minerals.
And I guess there's the GG. Koreans are not intimidating. Korean or not. Probably someone typing Korean to try and look intimidating.